I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we dive into a powerful exploration of mental and physical well-being with Michaelle Salvador. She has penned a powerful book. It is called I Am the Ocean, A Journey from Darkness to Light. This poignant collection of poems delves into the struggles of mental health, societal expectations, and personal pain, while offering readers a message of resilience, hope, and healing. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Atticus Publishing for helping us put her in the spotlight today. And we ask viewers like you to support authors like her by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing her amazing book. The links are below this interview. Michaelle, great to see you here today on Spotlight.
Thank you for having me.
It's my pleasure. It's a wonderful book. It's an insightful book. I Am the Ocean. Tell us why you called it that.
Well, through my journey, it's interesting through my journey of dealing with my mental health, through my depression, anxiety, which I didn't know at the time was depression. I, was writing these poems. Of course, I didn't know what they were at the time. They were just writings. One of the last kind of realizations that I had, because I've always felt like I was drowning in this kind of, I don't know, just sinking all the time, and I couldn't get out from it, and I felt like it was this something was sucking me down into this ocean. And at the end, when I was starting to heal finally through my mental health, through therapy and getting better, the last kind of epiphany or poem that I had was, maybe I am the ocean, maybe I'm the one that has control of this. It's not this invisible darkness that's sucking me down. I'm the light. I can bring myself out of this. I can make things brighter than they were from the beginning. So that really was the poem that I wrote that closed the book, and really was kind of an epiphany for me in general for my healing, that everything I do is directed inward.
It's a beautiful metaphor. I am the ocean, and it's a great point of view, a perfect paradigm shift to view things from a different perspective and empower yourself. Let's give the folks at home an overview of the book. What will they find when they crack open the covers of it?
Well, I always tell people when they read the book, family members, friends, that there are some poignant pieces in there that are very light, and there can be very soft, but a lot of it's dark. It comes from a time when I was in a very dark place, in pain. And I think that if anyone, which all of us as humans have suffered through something, can connect to it. There's, poems of struggling with your self-esteem, struggling with physical pain, the thoughts in your mind, losing someone, um, you know, meeting someone, lost love, meeting someone for the first time and falling in love. There's just a veritable of different emotions that I take you through. That's why it's called a journey from the darkness to the light. I was in the very first page that you open up to, the the illustration, which was done by my niece, is of a woman laying down basically in a fetal position. That's how the feeling was, and it's you know that's the way it was in a fetal position, but then at the end becomes very light. So yeah.
Or I know it's like choosing among children, but is there a favorite poem in the book?
I thought about this because I figured you would ask me that. I would say that the ones that have illustrations in the book are many of my favorite. I wrote one that is very close to my heart, is Butterfly Wings, because it's for my sister. The book was dedicated to my sister who passed from brain cancer. And the anniversary is actually 10 years this month. But that uh, is one that's very touching for me. But also, I think 6 Days, the first one, is really what started it all, because it just came organically. And it really is me just laying there and not knowing, just all these thoughts. So I think that was, but then the last one, I Am the Ocean, the last one is really profound for me because I found my way. So yeah.
Offers hope and a path forward and
Yes.
light, as you mentioned. What do you hope readers take away from this? That they're not alone, that there is a way out? Tell us a little bit about that.
I think my biggest hope in this, and the whole reason that I did it, is that if it could reach one person to let them know that they're not alone and that it's okay to have those feelings. It's okay um, to struggle, but there's also a way out. That there's also something that can there's light at the end of the tunnel, and that you can, there was points in my journey when I didn't think I was going to make it out, but through the help of my close circle, but also helping myself. I think that was the biggest thing. I dug deep, and I was able to do it. But to really connect to one person who can read one of those poems and say, God, I know how that feels. And I'm not the only one. That's all I want. And beyond that, the other, to go back to the question, and I don't want to keep going because I can
Oh,
talk and
no.
on. Ugly Girl is really a one that really touches me, because it's about women and young girls, and how we feel about our self-esteem. That particularly because I work with my niece in the endeavors that I do. And so I think that is also part of why I do this, because I want to make sure that in some sort of way it makes a change for someone, helps.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Tell me a little bit about Kailey, Annabelle, and Gina and how they reflect the diverse viewpoints on mental health.
Well, Kailey has struggled. She turned 16 actually this month, and she struggled with self-harm
Mm.
about a year ago. And her outlet is art. And she also deals with some anxiety. And that, when I told her I was writing and I was thinking about publishing a book, I asked her about the kind of, would she be interested in doing the art for the book? And what did she think about the poems, and if she connected to them? And she said yes, because she herself was struggling as a teenager. And that really, in general, I mean, for her age group, it helps. But Kailey and my niece Annabella um, really were poignant pieces, or really part of my journey, and I don't want to say survival, but in fighting, because I don't have children of my own because I can't have them, but they knew that I was struggling, and they were there to provide a solace, light and cheer, and gave their own, even though they're young girls, gave their own way of, I don't know, of medicine.
Yeah.
And they struggle themselves because they're young girls. So that was huge. My sister um, dealt with terminal cancer for quite some time, and she passed in my home, so I took care of her, and that kind of changed my whole outlook on life. And a lot of what I do um, in this second journey of my life is really because I know that she would want that. But a, there's a lot that I think about when I think of her and her struggles as well with mental health and physical health. So,
Yeah. Before we leave you today, I just want to ask you, what advice would you give to individuals who are struggling with mental illness or depression based on the lessons in your book?
don't give up.
Yeah.
Is, every day, I didn't just go through something and come out of it. Every day for me, you know, there's some days that I don't want to get out of bed, because it seems like, those little voices in my head may get to me. Don't give up. And if you feel like you're alone, you're not. I promise you, you're not. Um, and reach out to someone. If it's not my book, pick up a book that you can connect to. Pick up, write something.
Mhm.
Your words, you matter. I think that's what's important, is really relaying to people that you matter no matter what.
Absolutely wonderful advice, heartfelt advice. The name of the book is I Am the Ocean, A Journey from Darkness to Lightness. It is a poignant collection of poems that dive into the struggles of mental health, societal expectations, and personal pain. And the work within the pages of this book offer readers a message of hope and resilience and healing. It is highly recommended. Michelle, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you so much for having me, Logan.
Thanks for your time. I appreciate your candor and I appreciate your insight. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.